You know he's coming back. Suppose you didn't have nobody. Suppose you couldn't go in the bunkhouse and play around me because you was black. How would you like that? Oh, sure. You could play horseshoes until it got dark. Then you got sitting here and read books. Books ain't good. The guy needs somebody to keep near him. The guy goes nuts if he ain't got somebody. It don't matter who it is as long as he's with you. I tell you, the guy gets too lonely, he gets sick.
George gonna come back tonight. Maybe George come back already. Maybe I better go see.
Didn't mean to scare you. George will be back all right. I was talking about myself.
George won't go away and leave me. I know George won't do that.
I remember when I was a little boy on my old man's chicken ranch. I had 2 brothers. And they was always there, always with me. They used to sleep right in the same room, right in the same bed, all 3. Had a strawberry patch, had an alfalfa patch. I used to turn the chickens out in the alfalfa on a Sunday morning. Me and my brothers would sit on the fence and watch them. What chickens they was.
George says we're gonna have alfalfa.
You're nuts.
We are too gonna do it. You ask George.
Nuts. See hundreds of men coming down on the roads and on the ranches. Bindles on their backs. That same damn thing in their head. Hundreds of them. They come, they quit, they go on. Every damn one of them's got a little piece of land in their head. Every damn one of them gets it. It's just like heaven. Everyone wants a little piece of land. Nobody never gets to heaven. Nobody never gets no land.
We are too.
It's just in your head. They'll talk about it a hell of a lot, but it's just in your head. Sounds like somebody's outside. Might be Slim. Oh, that you, Slim?
Slim went in town. Say, you see Lenny?
Oh, you mean the big guy?
Yeah, seen him around any place?
He's in here.
Look, Lenny, I've been figuring something out about the place.
You can come in if you want.
Well, I don't know. Of course, if you want me to.
Well, you might as well come in. Everyone else is coming in. It's getting to be a damn racetrack.
You've got a nice, cozy little place here. It must be nice to have a room to yourself this way.
Oh, sure. And a manure pile under the window, all to myself. Oh, it's swell.
You said about the place.
You know, I've been here a long time, and Crooks has been here a long time, and this is the first time I've ever been in his room.
Guys don't come to Colored Man's room. Nobody been here but
The
Slim.
place. You said about the place.
Yeah, I got it all figured out. We can make some real money on them rabbits if we go about it right.
But I get to 10. George says I get to 10 rabbits. He promised.
Guys, it's just kidding yourselves. They'll talk about it a hell of a lot. You won't get no land. You'll be a swamper here until they take you out of the box. I've seen too many guys.
We are gonna get it. George says we are. We've got the money right now.
Yeah? And where is George? In town, at a cat house. That's where your money's going. Hell, I've seen it happen too many times.
George ain't got the money in town. The money's in the bank. Me and Lenny and George, we gonna have a room to ourselves. We gonna have a dog and chickens, and we gonna have green corn, and maybe even a cow.
You say you've got the money.
Well, we got most of it. Just a bit more to get. Have it all in 1 month.
I've never seen a guy actually do it. I mean, I've seen guys near crazy with loneliness for land, but always a cat house or blackjack game took it away from them. You know, if you would want a hand to work for nothing, just as keep, I'd come along. I ain't so crippled I can't work like a son of a gun if I wanted to.
Couldn't go to bed like I told you, could you, Lenny? Hell no, you gotta get out in society and flap your mouth. Holding a convention out here.
You was gone. There wasn't nobody in the bunkhouse. And I ain't done no bad things, George, honest.
The only time I get any peace is when you're asleep. If you ever get to walking in your sleep, I'll chop off your head like a chicken.
We was just talking. Ain't no harm in that.
Yeah, I heard you. You gotta be here every minute, I guess. You gotta watch it. It ain't nothing against you, Crooks. We just wasn't gonna tell nobody.
Didn't you have no fun in town?
Oh, I sat in a chair and Susie was cracking jokes, and the guy started to raise little puny heads. I've never been this way before. I'm just gonna set out a dime and a nickel for a shot, and I think what a hell of a lot of bulk carrot seed you can get for 15 cents.
Well, not in them damn little envelopes. But bulk seed you sure can.
So pretty soon I come back. I can't think of nothing else. All them guys slinging money around got me jumping.
Well, the guys got to have some fun. I was to a parlor house in Bakersfield once. What a place. Went upstairs on a red carpet. There was big pictures on the walls, and we sat in big soft chairs. There was cigarettes on the table, and they was free. And pretty soon a Jap come in with drinks on a tray, and them drinks was free. Take all you want. And pretty soon the girls come in, and they was just as quiet and polite and nice and pretty. They didn't seem like hookers. Made you kind of scared to ask them. Well, that was a long time ago.
Yeah? And what did them soft chairs set you back?
$15.
So you got a cigarette and a whiskey and a look at a pretty dress for 12 and a half bucks extra? You shot a week's pay to walk on that red carpet.
A week's pay? Sure, but I worked weeks all my life, and I can't remember none of them. But that was nearly 20 years ago, and I can remember that. The girl I went with was named Arlene. Had on a pink silk dress.
Well, just like a bad dream, who appears in the shadows again but Curly's wife. And this time she wanted to ask Crooks what really happened to Curly's hand. Well, the guys, except for Lenny, they told her to get out. When she saw the bruises on Lenny's face, oh, she understood what had happened. She told him that he was the only one that had ever had the guts to stand up to Curly. Well, by then George had had enough, and he went out like he was about to hit her. Who should walk in right then but the boss? Well, George stopped in his tracks, but the damage had already been done. Just like that, George knew that his dreams just blown out the window and out of sight. Good morning, blues. How do you do? Good morning, blues. How do you do? I'm doing all right. Morning, how are you?
Why you got to get killed? You ain't so little as mice. I didn't bounce you hard. Now, maybe George will let me tend over rabbits if he finds out you got killed. Well, this ain't no bad thing. Like I gotta hide in the brush. I'll tell George I found it dead. But he'll know. You always know. He'll say, "You done it, don't try to put nothing over on me." And he'll say, now just for that, you don't get to tend them. You know what? Then why you got to get killed? he won't let me. Now he won't let me. Wasn't big enough. They told me you wasn't. I didn't know you'd get killed so easy. Maybe George won't care. This little summer gun wasn't nothing to George.
Lenny, where you at? Thought I'd find you here, Lenny. Say, I've been talking to Slim, and it's all right. We ain't gonna get the can. Slim been talking to the boss. Well, he told the boss you guys is good buckers. Well, the boss got to move that grain. Remember what hell the boss give us last night? He told Slim he got his eye on you and George, but we ain't gonna get the can. Oh, and say, the boss give Curly's wife hell too. Told her never to go near the men no more. Give her worse hell than he give you and George. Well, ain't you glad?
Sure.
You ain't sick.
Uh-uh.
Well, I gotta go tell George. See you later.
Just when things were starting to look better, who should appear in the shadows again but Curly's wife, and this time with a suitcase. Well, Lenny tried to be strong and not to talk to her.
I ain't gonna talk to you. George says I ain't.
But when she saw that dead pup, she was real nice about it.
You were so little. We was just playing. He was just my pup. Just my little old pup. But he was so little, and we was just playing, and he made like he's gonna bite me, so I made like I'm gonna snap him. And then I done it. And then he was dead. Well, it ain't that so much. George's gonna be mad. Maybe he won't let me. Well, he said I could tell.
Well, they both settled into their own thoughts. Curly's wife's talking about how she didn't like Curly and was leaving him to go to Hollywood and get in the pictures. Well, she said she didn't have no family, seeing as how her dad died in jail, and her mama would think she was indecent leaving her husband. But Lenny went on.
You're gonna have a little place of raspberry bushes. You're gonna take a sack and fill it up with alfalfa, and I hope George ain't gonna be mad about this pup. We're gonna get out of here pretty soon. This ain't no nice place. We're gonna go way, far away from here. George knew us to the Sacramento Fair. Once I fell in the river, and George pulled me out and saved me. And then we went to the fair. They got all kinds of stuff there. We seen long-haired rabbits. Maybe if I take this here pup and throw him away, George would never know. And then maybe I could tend the rabbits without no trouble. We're gonna have a house and a garden and a place for alfalfa. And I take a sack and get it all full of alfalfa, and then I take it to the rabbits.
Finally hearing him, she asked him why he was so nuts about them rabbits.
I like to pet nice things. Once at a fair, I seen some of them long-haired rabbits, and they was nice, you bet. I didn't even pet mice, but now I like to get nothing better. I like to pet nice things with my fingers, soft things. And I had some too. You bet. A lady gave me some, and that lady was my Aunt Clara. She gave it right to me, about this big a piece. I wish I had that velvet now. I lost it. I ain't seen it for a long time.
Curly's wife said that she'd like to feel her hair because it was so soft, and she told Lenny he could touch it. Well, he went right on over and she put his hand on her head.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Well, she warned him not to mess up her hair, but he just kept on touching it. Well, then she yelled at him to stop. Lenny's hands just clenched right on her hair. Then she panicked and started to scream. Lenny put his hand over her mouth.
Oh, please don't scream. George's gonna be mad.
She just kept on yelling and telling him to stop.
Don't do that. George's gonna say I've done a bad thing.
She just kept on struggling and trying to get away from
I
him.
don't want you to do that. You're gonna get me in trouble just like George says you will. But don't do that. I don't want you to go yelling. I don't want to hurt you, but George will be mad if you yell.
Then he just didn't know his own strength. Before he knew it, he'd silenced her yelling forever.
I've done a bad thing. I've done another bad thing. What? I've done a real bad thing. I shouldn't have did that. George is gonna be mad. And he said, and hide the brush until he comes. Oh, he's gonna be mad. In the brush until he comes. That's what he said. I'll throw him away. It's bad enough like it is.
Lenny! You in there, Lenny? I've been figuring some more, Lenny. I'll tell you what we can do. We can sell some... Well, I didn't know you was here. You was told not to be here. You wanted to sleep out here. George? 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 George?
What is it?
Look.
Well, what's the matter? This can't be happening. This can't be happening.
Well, what done it?
Ain't you got any idea? I should have knew. I guess way back in my head I did.
Well, what are we gonna do now, George? What are we gonna do now?
I guess we gotta tell the guys. Guess we gotta catch him and lock him up. Can't let him get away. Why the poor fool would starve. Maybe they'll lock him up and be nice to him.
You know better than that. You know Curly's gonna want to get him lynched. You know how Curly is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I know Curly. And the other guys too.
You and me can still go and get that little place, can't we, George? You and me can go there and live nice, can't we? Oh, well, can't we?
It was something him and me had. I think I know it from the very first. I think I know him, Stuart. He used to like to hear about it so much. I got fooled thinking maybe we would. I'll work my month, take my $50. I'll stay all night until now with the cows. Stay in a pool room until everybody else goes home. Then I'll come back and work another month. And then I'll have $50 more.
He's such a nice fella. I didn't think he'd have done nothing like this.
Now listen, we've got to tell the guys. I guess they've got to bring him in. There ain't no way out. Maybe they won't hurt Lenny. I ain't gonna let him hurt Lenny. Now you listen. The guys might think I was in on it. I'm gonna go in the bunkhouse. Then in a minute, you come out and yell like you just seen me. Will you do that? So the guys won't think I was in on it?
Sure, George. Sure. I'll do that.
Okay. Give me a couple minutes then. Then you yell your head off. I'm going now.
You damn tramp! You done it, didn't you? Everybody knowed you'd mess things up. You just wasn't no good. I could have owned the garden and auspicious for them guys. If there was a baseball game or a circus, we would have went to her. Just said to hell with work and whipped her. And there'd have been a pig and chickens. And in the winter, a little fat stove. And us just sitting there. Sitting there. Hey, you guys. 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 Come here, guys.
What's the matter, Candy?
I know who done it. That big bastard's done it. I know he done it. While everybody else was out there playing horseshoes. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get my rifle while I'll keep the son of a gun myself. I will shoot him in the guts. Come on, you guys.
I'll get my revolver.
Looks like Lenny done it all right. Her neck's busted. Well, Lenny could have did that. Well, maybe like that Tom Weedy was telling me about. Well, I guess we got to get him. Where do you think he might have went?
I don't know.
Well, I guess we got to get him.
Couldn't we maybe bring him in and lock him up? He's not Slim. He never done this to me.
If we could only keep Curly in, but Curly wants to shoot him. And suppose they lock him up, George, and strap him down and put him in a cage. That ain't no good.
I know.
I think there's only one way to get him out of it.
I know.
The big guy took my revolver. He aimed my back.
All right, guys. Then you've got a rifle. You take it, Carson.
Only cover around here is down by the river. You might have went there.
Don't give him no chance. Shoot for his guts. That will double him over.
I ain't got a gun.
Go in and get a gun from all men. Get a gun from him. Let's go now. You come with us, fella.
Yeah, I'll come. But listen, Curly. The poor fool's nuts. Don't shoot him. He didn't know what he was doing.
Don't shoot him. Got Carson revolver, ain't he?
Maybe Carlson lost his gun.
I seen it this morning. Talk.
Curly, maybe you better stay here with your wife.
Nah, I'm gonna shoot the guts out of that big bastard. I'm gonna get him myself. Come on, you guys.
Now, You stay here then, Candy. The rest of us better get going.
Poor guy.
Oh, my love is swiftly fading by your sea. They do now show I am standing by the river. Angels wait to take me home. Kiss me, mother, kiss your darling. Lay my head upon your breast. Throw your loving arms around me. I'm weary, let me rest. All my life, you always loved me, and my life you tried to save, but now I shall slumber sweetly in a deep and lonely grave.
I've been brushing. I'm waiting for George. I've been brushing. George's gonna give me hell, I bet. Well, I won't tell him. I'll bury him. But I didn't forget. You bet I come right here. Hide in the brush and wait for George. But he's gonna give me hell. He's gonna wish he was alone. Well, I could go in them hills and find a cave. Of course, I would never have no ketchup. I'll go away. I'll go away. But there now, I will never tell George.